it was either late middle school or early high school. A bunch of girlfriends were hanging out, and someone got this idea to play this game called the Brutally Honest game.
Fun.
And we were all fully on board. In some ways, I think there was like a nice element to it where we like went around the room and everybody said something to everybody else that we really loved about them.
Aww.
But then we also said something that we didn't like about each other. Or
Jeez.
I think we maybe like shrouded it in like what our first impressions or like what we used to think about you.
Oh, yeah.
You know, but it was also kind of like what
that.
we still kind of think. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was like, we were all super into it at first. And we were like, this is such a great idea. Oh my God. Best game ever. And then about an hour into it, everybody was like, this is awful. But no one said it because no one wanted to be like the baby. So we were all just like, okay, well, great. That was great. Good game. We're going to do a Microtheticast.
I love how sometimes the intro to the Microtheticast is a song. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's a rap, like it was that one time.
Yep.
And that was fun because I like rapping, but whatever.
I don't think we should rap very much.
No, you don't think so?
No.
I might start rapping more, just in general, on this podcast. That's my plan. My name is David.
That wasn't a rap, though.
No,
was it?
I know. I'm just introducing myself.
Okay, just clarifying.
Oh, you had such a horrified look in your eyes.
Like, you're serious? Your name's David?
No, I just wanted. It's going to be hard for us to tell when you're rapping and when you're just talking.
I can clarify if you want. Hi, this is not a rap. My name is David.
Okay, great. My name is Emily. That was a rap.
Cool. A short one.
Yeah.
My name is Mike.
Nice. Welcome to the Microtheticast. This time we're playing a game called The Good, the Bad, and the Answer. It's where one of us asks a question, somebody answers it, and then the two remaining people have to talk about what's good about it and what's bad about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, it's not critiquing the person or their answer, but more their new reality or their
digging
new
a little
truth
bit
that they've
deeper
created.
into that. Yeah.
Yeah, because everything's got pros and cons.
Everything has consequences.
Yeah.
Good and bad.
Good and bad.
We're just
Double-edged
trying
swords.
to help you listeners to understand that your choices
matter.
We care.
We care.
I'm going to start.
Yeah.
And I'm going to ask Mike, if you could cancel forever a single thing that you have to do every day other than your job, what would it be?
I would cancel having to sleep.
Nice.
Because I like sleep. It's because I need to. And if I didn't need to, I'd have a whole extra third of my day free to just do what I want.
Yeah.
Probably read a lot of books.
Right.
The bad thing about that is that I think would have to eventually come up with some sort of meditation practice, something that to give you a break from the world, because I think without the necessary mental break from consciousness, one would go a bit crazy.
Perhaps. The good thing about that is that you would be able to get an extra job if you wanted to make a little money. If you were desperate, you could do all sorts of night work that people hate. Night work with a capital N, capital W, including night shifts that pay better. You could do sleep studies for people because you wouldn't get tired watching them sleep. You'd be like, no,
I would run the sleep study.
Yeah, you would run the sleep.
I can't do a sleep study. No.
That's the bad part. You could never do a sleep study.
Yeah.
But I think the good part is that you just got so much time to pursue another career. Especially, I want you to do sleep studies as a way to vicariously live.
Yeah, maybe you would become obsessed with sleep because
exactly.
you couldn't have it.
I think that would be pretty fun.
Your upside is turning into a downside.
Yeah, well, but Emily's downside kind of had an upside. It was you could get into meditation. That could be
that
fun.
David and I just like turning all of the choices that you make into bad things.
Into bad things. No,
because I agree to them.
You
being obsessed with sleep but getting paid to do a lot of sleep studies is pretty cool because that pays well.
That's true.
It's a good job.
And it's a fascinating thing, sleep.
Yeah, sleep is cool.
Sleepwatcher.
That's your name. Yeah, Sleepwatcher. I was thinking that it would be bad to be in a relationship with someone that really liked sleeping together. Because you would have to kind of fake it. You'd be like, well, it's time to settle in for the night. Snuggle. And then just have to lay there for a whole night or get up and hope they don't notice.
That's literally me in real life.
Yeah.
Though.
It's not great.
I have
right?
a lot of trouble sleeping in bed with another person.
Mm-hmm, right. So. And it's not ideal. If someone is sleep with me, they whine like that. And then
Sleep with me.
Okay, guys, let's move on. That's where we're gonna go.
that is the bad thing. Somebody would go sleep with me, and you wouldn't be able to.
That sweet voice.
Yeah,
of David's.
of your partner.
Michael. Okay. Is it my turn?
I'm cutting myself off too. Yeah, go.
I will ask David a question. This is taken from our Hypotheticast Facebook page.
Oh, cool.
Check it out, cuties. Emily does most of our Facebook page. She does a great job with it. Mostly just makes the stuff up on her own. David, you're fishing and something starts to pull at your line. It's not a fish. What do you hope it is?
For some reason, the first thing that I thought of, and I'm just going to go with it, is a giant snake. Like, I don't know why, but that sounds really exciting. And I'm not going to go into what would happen because that's your job. A giant snake.
I thought you were going to say, I'm not going to go into what Sigmund Freud would have to say about that. Hey, y'all.
A big old dick. I'm not going to go into the Freudian implications.
God, yeah. A big old snake. A big old snake. I'm changing it from a giant snake to a big old snake.
Okay.
Big old snake.
What do you got?
I mean, I guess I'm going to do the easy job of saying the bad thing about that is that it probably would bite you, and those fangs will be big old fangs.
Big old fangs. That sounds scary and bad, yeah.
Is that it? That's just the
that's
snake.
the
The
bad
snake
thing.
chomps down on David and he dies.
I mean, snakes don't love us. Like, snakes
No.
aren't like, oh, hello, let's hang out. Like, even less so than I feel like bears or like predator cats are not immediately always going to eat us. They might be like, oh, a mammal. Let me interact.
Right.
Snakes are just like, get the fuck away from me.
True.
Bite.
However, this snake is bound by the fishing code.
Yes.
Because this snake has been caught fair and square by David. So now that snake must do David's bidding. He can ride it to school. All the other kids are going to be like,
I'm
oh
a
man,
child
that
in this
kid's
scenario."
riding a snake. I don't know, maybe you're going to grad school. You can ride your snake to
And
grad
all the
school.
kids are like, man, that adult gets to ride a snake to grad school. I wish I could ride a snake and was in grad school.
Yeah.
But I'm a kid.
The snake could like squeeze stuff for you. Like if your toothpaste was really low, he could like squeeze your tube of toothpaste so it would come out.
Yeah. That is essential, honestly. I hate doing that, especially in the morning when I'm so tired and my hands are so weak.
So yeah, the snake could help you with your chores. It owes you a life debt now because you caught it fair and square with your
fishing
fish hook.
code.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Fishing
It do a lot of stuff for you.
Great. Emily, if you could only drink one alcoholic beverage for the rest of your life, whenever you wanted an alcoholic beverage, what would it be?
I don't know if I'm in the throes of summertime living.
You are. I can see it.
But I'm also very much a basic white girl. I think I'm gonna say rosé, and here's why. I really do like a good rosé, especially if it's dry. I think actually the thing about it though is its flexibility. So I could have it at like fancy things, and I can also have it just in my home, and I can pace myself a little bit better as opposed to if I said like vodka because it's versatile. That's just like always going to be like hard liquor drinking. And sometimes, especially now that I'm not 20 something, I prefer a lot of times to drink something that like I can like kind of pace myself with a little more.
Yeah.
This is just replacing her alcoholic beverages?
Yes.
Not any beverage.
Not any. Just
Okay,
if she wants alcohol, it's rosé.
It's got to be rosé.
Yeah.
It would be bad because it would be hard to have a gin and tonic made of rosé. Because how would you have that? Rosé and tonic? What would you do? Hard to have a fun mixed drink.
I literally got a rosé cocktail book from my friend Amanda for my birthday.
Wow.
And it's amazing.
You've defeated the bad
So-
premise. You already
Great.
have figured it out.
I know the good thing for
Yes
sure.
way rosé.
Yes way. You probably have lots of bars that you go to and you're like, hey, bartender, what's up? I
So
know
many
you.
ball
You're very popular. You have a lot of friends and bartender friends. So when you go
Oh,
into your
heck.
regular watering hole, you're like, all you have to do is go up to the bar and say like, you know, and they give you a glass of rosé because they know that's all you can drink. That's such a nice thing to be able to, you don't ever have to order at your favorite places anymore because they know you. You're rosé girl. They might even have a glass ready for you by the time you sit down.
Yeah.
And I love the idea of being able to sidle up to a bar and just wink at the bartender and be like, you know.
You can do that if you want.
I
to
can.
just
What would
try that.
happen?
I don't know. Yeah, let's find out.
That sounds fun though.
Let's
Yeah.
go. Let's go to the bar.
Maybe let's go to the bar right now. I don't have to work.
David, if you had to smell one food every time you had sex for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Wow.
I'm going to go with my gut again on this one because it's more fun to just say things that I think of and say lasagna. Maybe it's because I thought about vaginas and there's a little bit of
vagina?
a visual parallel.
Okay.
Visual and word sound.
Lasagna vagina.
Yeah.
They could rhyme in
Come
a
see
song.
my new band, Vagina Lasagna. Lasagna Vagina. Wow.
That's
great.
beautiful.
That's got to be like an insult, right? Like calling someone a lasagna vagina.
I mean, there's a lot of vagina shaming out there, but
yeah,
I don't think
exactly.
it has to be.
No,
I don't.
that's
I
true.
think lasagna is delicious.
And some lasagna is beautiful with the little wavy lines on the side of
That's
it.
what I'm saying. The wavy lines, they remind me of vaginas.
Oh my.
Just
Okay.
saying. Anyway.
Great. Smelling lasagna.
Smelling lasagna every time I have sex.
That seems pleasant.
It does seem pleasant, doesn't it, Mike? But is there any
I
downside?
think the downside is that you would, in the smell of lasagna, you would be reminded of that comic strip character, Garfield, who is perhaps the least sexy comic book character.
Ooh, take that back.
Okay, maybe this is an upside. I didn't know. So then I guess if you were into Garfield, be distracted, and then your partner would be like, "What are you thinking about right now?" And you'd be like, Odie. I hate John." You'd be like, "Are you thinking about Garfield again?" And they'd be like, "Oh, David."
Better than Dilbert. That's all I'm saying.
That's true.
Wait, I forgot Dilbert.
Dilbert's worse.
Garfield's the second least sexy cartoon character.
Dilbert has that little tie, though. It's kind of provocative.
We're finding out a lot about your cartoon strip preferences here.
Wait, you said the bad thing? Yeah.
I did, and then I guess it turned into a
good or
but then
bad
also
thing, but
bad.
I was too distracted by thoughts of my love Garfield.
I think the good thing would be that you would get kind of like turned on and excited every time you went to an Italian restaurant.
Oh.
And I can't think of any downside to that.
No, because I probably want to be turned on and excited at an Italian restaurant. It's usually kind of a fun experience, a little bit higher class dining, unless it's the Olive Garden, in which case I can't think of a worse place to be turned on than the Olive Garden.
I can.
You can? Name one.
The Cracker Barrel.
Yeah.
Arby's.
Arby's. No, it's Mike's turn.
Emily, when I was a child, we took family trips to Paul Bunyan Land in Brainerd. If Paul Bunyan were alive and well in today's world, what would he be up to? Mm-hmm. Also from our Facebook page.
I think that he would have an HGTV television show. He'd be an HGTV personality where he'd find a couple that was like, I'm really picky about what I want. I want a house, but I want it to be exactly what I want it to be because I'm a privileged bitch. And then Paul Bunyan would meet with them and he'd be like, he'd help them and he would build them a house, but then he'd also be like, you need to calm down and you need to like look at your life and realize that you're really lucky. And so if you don't get every single thing you want in a house, you're going to be fine. Check your life and stop being such a whiny little monster. That's what I think. It would be a great HGTV show. And Babe the Blue Ox would be there as the like, kind of how on HGTV shows, if it's like a husband and wife duo, one of them is like, has big ideas and it is always spending too much money, and the other one is like, okay, let's rein it in. Babe the Blue Ox would be like, use granite for everything. Ooh, look at this really expensive tile. And Paul Bunyan would have to be like, babe, that's enough.
Babe, stop.
Yeah, babe,
You're
we can't
talking
afford
about
that.
granite.
And babe would be like, okay, I love you, Paul.
Aw, man.
Babe.
Okay, so I think definitely the good thing about Emily's situation, this amazing show that I would super watch, is that Paul Bunyan in a lot of typing sort of represents the male in like a lot of ways. Like he's got a beard, he eats stacks of pancakes, he's got a big axe, he's a lumberjack. He's a man's man in the myths. But this show would give him an emblem of masculinity, a chance to really be sensitive, to show care for his friend, lover, maybe, Babe the Blue Ox. I'm not sure. It's confusing, but I think they're in love. And it would really be a chance to exhibit a masculine-looking human being being very, very sensitive and trying to help other people, which I think is very valuable. It's good to not just have helpful people be non-masculine, which is unfortunately
and he would also be helping them deal with their issues when they were like, but I want everything. He'd be like, where's that coming from?
Yeah. Gotta be realistic, gotta be nice. and I think he'd be great at it. So PB for life.
I also am in the middle of a very brutal house hunt, so maybe I just want Paul Bunyan to come and help me.
Scoop you up and drop you down.
Paul.
So I think the good thing would be sensitive masculinity would be represented.
Yeah,
and that's
great.
nice.
I think the downside would be that Paul Bunyan is a giant man and not used to building normal people-sized houses. So I think every now and then they'd get the perfect house built and they'd be ready to move in, and he'd accidentally step on the house, and they would just be like, "Oh, Paul, why?" You're like, "I'm sorry, I'm just a giant. I don't know."
And it zooms in on his face and freeze frames. And that's the end of the episode.
Paul. That's like at the end of the show. Yeah, end of the credits. Like they're all ready to move in, but then, or maybe Babe takes a nap on the house. I'm like, "Babe, you gotta find a new place to take a nap."
That would be unfortunate for those particular couples, but still great watching.
Good TV, but not easy.
It's a show called
live.
Damn It, Paul, because he always wrecks it. He tries so hard.
Oh,
Michael, if you had to fight a duel tomorrow at dawn, and you could determine the type of weapons you both would use, what would those weapons be?
Is it a duel to the death?
Yes.
Oh, geez. Laser swords.
Ooh, nice.
Laser, not lightsabers.
Not lightsabers?
No. Like they're like a pirate cutlass, but they're laser.
But they're lasers.
They're laser kinds.
I think that the bad thing about that is that the type of injuries that would come out of that would be very kind of horrifying and hard to repair. It wouldn't be like I know that any weapon can do that,
right,
but I think that would be particularly, and then I think like the psychological ramifications for you of like the damage that you have done would be tough for you to work through.
Right. Like if it wasn't a duel to the death and someone just got shot and then they lost, but we know how to remove bullets from people.
Yep.
But
and
you just cut someone's head off.
Sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be brutal. The good thing about it is that it would be extra brutal. Laser swords, what you don't know is they're also laser pointers.
Oh.
And so you would attract like hundreds of cats to this fight.
Okay.
And so you would actually be fighting in this like dynamic terrain of cats all trying to get the laser pointers that were like on the ground and on the trees around you.
Yeah.
So you would have to be dodging cats, and it would be very cinematic. Lots of cats jumping out of trees at you. It would almost be raining cats as you fought this other person. Yeah, you'd have to avoid killing cats too, which is tricky. So I think it would be a great scene, very cinematic. And I think that would increase your enjoyment of the duel, whether or not you won.
I was thinking that a laser sword would like cauterize any wounds, so it wouldn't
Perhaps.
it wouldn't be super bloody.
That's how lightsabers work anyway. I don't know about laser swords.
They're legally distinct from lightsabers.
Well, I think we've did it, right?
I think we did it.
Emily, let's say I was just a lady at the library trying to find a nice podcast to listen to. What would I do?
What you could do is go to Facebook and look up Hypotheticast on Facebook. We're there. We make some posts.
So easy to find.
It's also just a great way to contact us. You could also find us on Twitter and Instagram, and you could email us at hypotheticast@gmail.com and say, hey, do you guys have any good podcast recommendations? I'm a lady at the library and I need a podcast recommendation.
And I got your email address somehow.
And I'm listening to a podcast, but I need more podcast recommendations.
And then we also have a website, Hypotheticast.club.
Nice.
Find us, get at us.
While you're at the library, you should write down some reviews and hide them in some books that you like so that people will find them and be intrigued. You could write those reviews online on iTunes or any other podcast app if you want. Maybe very quietly whisper to someone else that they should watch it because you're in the library. But if you tell other people about us, that'd be pretty cool.
That'd be great.
Thank you to Jaden James and the Hunger for their song Killing It, which we use as our theme song. And thank you to Christian Hagen for his logo that he made for us, which we use as our logo. We have buttons on sale for $2. If you take a picture of yourself enjoying this show and you send it to one of our social media accounts, we will send you a button for free after we get your address, of course. Thank you for sending in all your questions every week. It's awesome. And thank you for listening.
Thank you so much, guys.
Yeah, I liked that you guys listened.
You have a nice special day.
You have a nice special body.
And mind.
And mind.
And soul, if you believe in that.
But if you don't, then you don't have a nice special soul.
Yeah, no, you have
those
no
are
soul
reserved for those who believe.
Yeah, that's how it works.
That's how it works. Bye.
XOXO.
XOXO Hypotheticast Girl.
Look up, baby Joan. Oh my gosh, you're so pretty.
But your value comes from your personality.
And brave and strong.
And brave and strong. Oh, see, now she looks at you because you're giving her legitimate compliments that don't objectify her.
Objectify.
I love your mind, Joan.